What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 76. We're starting today's stuff with a brief look at our transfer budget once again. £136 million remaining after the signing of Declan Rice in the last episode. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Declan Rice is back at Chelsea after all those years as a youngster before moving on to West Ham in his youth career. Well, he's a big target for Chelsea, as we know this summer, and we got him back at Stamford Bridge. But looking at the team here, I was thinking, okay, alright, I said when we started this season off, the two positions we were looking at, centre-back and holding mid, to replace the ageing Stefan de Vrij and N'Golo Kante. So I've got my holding mid to replace Kante. Now I need my centre-half to replace de Vrij. And I knew exactly who I wanted. Now, I was considering three names initially. The number one target was Christensen. But of course, he's moved on to Barcelona like he's going to do in real life. So I thought for realism, I'll keep him there at the new camp. Tapsoba was the guy I really wanted, I'll be honest. But at Benfica, they're not going to sell him because they haven't got enough squad depth in that position. So that left me with the other target on my shortlist, who, to be fair, out of the three, I would say is perhaps the most realistic anyway. Alessandro Bustoni, who has moved on from Inter to Everton in the game. And, you know, when we signed Davinson Sanchez from Athletic Bilbao at Southampton, I talked about how he wasn't playing for what he considered to be a realistic club. And Bustoni right now is 88 rated in the prime of his career, 26 years old, and he's at Goodison Park. And I mentioned before with Everton, they're a team in my career modes that blow hot and cold. Like, there are some saves where they do really well. They're pushing for a top 4 place and consistently battling for European positions. There are other saves when they're really cold and they're right down the bottom of the table and struggling to keep their heads above water. In this save, they've been consistently a mid-table team, and Bustoni right now, as I reject this bid, into Milan, putting in a massive offer for Tammy Abraham. He's going absolutely nowhere. Bustoni right now is 88 rated and in the prime of his career. He shouldn't be playing mid-table football. He should be playing Champions League football. He's now one of the best centre-backs in the save right now. He should be a Champions League club. He's competing right now in the Premier League, but he could be competing at a better team in a European competition too. So we agreed a £97.5 million deal with Everton to take him away from Goodison Park and sign him to Chelsea as our successor for de Vrij. Yep, Alessandro Bustoni is in, and I'm buzzing with that as well. He's such a great young talent and one of the best young centre-halves you can buy in this year's FIFA career mode. He's such a fantastic, solid defensive unit. I mean, really, you know, as a passer of the ball, he's more than competent. And whilst he might not be the quickest of players, if you will, he's not that slow either. But at 6'3" with a high defensive work rate, super high strength, and rock solid defensive stats as well. Yeah, this is an old school centre-half that's also quite comfortable on the ball as well. Bustoni is in. He'll replace Stefan de Vrij. I love that. One former Inter Milan centre-half replacing another. Bustoni comes in, and the bonus of him being left-footed as well means that in our back five, the three centre-halves we've got, they were all right-footed. But now Bustoni's a left-footed player. He can play LCB, if you will. I love that. I really do. Bustoni is in, and like I mentioned, he shouldn't be at Everton at this point in his career when he's in his prime and one of the best centre-halves in the world. So, yeah, we've got him, and I'm buzzing with that. Still, we had an unrealistic bid for Tammy Abraham there. Did you see that? Manchester City putting in a bit of a bid alongside, just KDB. Just casually throwing Manchester City legend Kevin De Bruyne into a swap deal for Tammy Abraham. Come on, EA, seriously. And following that, now this was interesting. Now, we rejected 2 bids for Tammy. He was our main striker last year and our top scorer as well. Romelu Lukaku signed an extension last summer, but was a bench striker last year. Came off the bench in the vast majority of our games. Now 32 years old, he's grown a rating to 88 overall, but I talked about it. If I was going to sell Lukaku, which I'm not against doing now that he's aging, well, there aren't many clubs I consider selling him to for the realism, but one is this team right here. Yup, his former team, Inter Milan. And what did he say in that interview? He'll be back in Milan soon enough. Well, there's rumours he might go to AC Milan. There has been rumours he might possibly go to the Magpies, though I'm not too sure about that one. But a return to Inter Milan is definitely something I could see in the future. Maybe not next season, but at some point down the line, Romelu Lukaku is gone back to Inter Milan for £105 million. And I've got to say again, I said with Lukaku, I wasn't going to sell him somewhere unrealistic. Do you remember last year, we had bids from Man City and Liverpool, very unrealistic destinations. But Inter Milan, I could definitely see that. And as I mentioned before, for me, it's not just about signing players that are realistic, but selling them to realistic destinations as well. Could you see Lukaku lining up for Guardiola next season? Nah, not really. But could you see him returning to Inter Milan in a few years' time? I definitely could. So, Lukaku back in Inter Milan, £105 million sale. And to me, that is an absolute fleece of a deal there. Now, don't get me wrong, Lukaku's 88 rated, but he's 32. He's only going to get worse now, or so you'd assume. And for that money as well, I'm going to take it, because Tammy Abraham's our top scorer last year. He's still my main guy up top, and we got more than enough money to find a replacement. So, we signed a replacement for the aging De Vrij, we signed a replacement for the aging Kante, and now we're going to look for a backup striker, or possibly even a first choice, to replace the aging and now sold Romelu Lukaku. I love this transfer window. I love this save. I really do. So first and only game of today's episode, Community Shield, Manchester City. And what is it about Manchester City goalkeepers and playing at Wembley? It's not Zach Steffen, it's Edison. But 20 minutes in, goodness gracious me, it is a gaff and a gift from the Brazilian. Tammy Abraham picking up where he left off last season, striking it on the volley. And you got to be honest here, that's poor from Edison, a goalkeeper of his class, one of the best in the world. That is poor. That's really poor. Flaps at the shot, trickles into the bottom corner, and Chelsea have the lead courtesy of a gift in my first ever Community Shield. And heading into the game, you would have seen my lineup a week before the Premier League season starts. I often talk about it. The Community Shield, if I win it, it's a trophy. If I lose it, it's a glorified friendly. But 25 minutes in, because I was 2-0 up, I didn't want to let this slip. I wanted my first Community Shield of the save as Tammy, during a celebration, he went through the legs of Edison. You love to see it. Jumps over the advertising audience and says, Romelu's gone. Now, I know there's no backup striker here, but I can lead this team to the treble this season. The gaffer will be thinking, do I get a new first choice striker? Drop me to the bench after last season's reasonable return of 20 Premier League goals? Well, in the Community Shield, he's making a statement. Bagging a brace, half an hour in, we're 2-0 up, and right before half-time, he had a chance to make it free with a solo run, striking from just outside the area, fires it wide. We still lead by 2 at half-time, and we're absolutely cruising. Man City just hadn't really turned up in the first half, and I was thinking, is this deja vu? FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool just a couple of weeks ago, when Liverpool ran rampant in the first half and led by 3, courtesy of some gifts from Zach Steffen as well, let's be honest here. But 13 minutes after the restart, we would make it 3. We were 3-0 up on Man City at Wembley. We were absolutely cruising, and Marcus Thuram, who I mentioned before I was considering selling this season, well, gave him a start in a Community Shield, gave a few of my fringe players starts in this game, and Thuram bagged our third after Tammy nodded the ball on. So I'm 3-0 up on Man City, looking to make a statement here. Last year we won a domestic double. Man City were runners up. We finished, I think it was 10 points clear of them at the end of the season, so we definitely deserved the title last year. We were the best team in the league, no doubt about it. But this season, if we want to be Champions League winners as well as winning domestic double, when we face the big teams, we don't just have to beat them, we have to beat them convincingly as well and show we are simply better. 10 minutes to go, I gifted Man City a goal. Julian Alvarez, who last year was runner-up in the Golden Boot, made it 3-1, but it did not matter. Consolation for Man City is all it proved to be. 3-1 victory in the Community Shield, courtesy of a Tammy Abraham masterclass. 2 goals and an assist as well. I've just sold Romelu Lukaku. I'm sitting there thinking, who's going to come in and replace the Belgium? Well, do I need someone to replace Lukaku? Jong Sang-bin on the bench. Can the Korean make that step up? Well, if Tammy gets injured, I'll be a little bit worried, but I do believe that Abraham is more than good enough to still lead our line in this team. Final score, 3-1, really big win. I love the subdued celebrations with the Community Shield as well. I've mentioned before, you know, like realistic celebration, specific celebrations are what help keep the game mode immersive. I like this too. You know, we're not going wild that we won the Community Shield because it's a, you know, glorified friendly in many ways. So I kind of like that too. We're not going wild, showing it off to the fans. No, just lifting it aloft. Yeah, well done, boys. Community Shield won. Now let's kick on with the Premier League season. Even so, my first of the save ends in success. It's always nice to start off with a win. 3-1 the final score, and beating Man City convincingly like we did last year at the Etihad as well. Yep, last year we proved we're the best team in England. We need to be that way again if we're going to stay on as Chelsea manager as we go for the treble this season. The question is, as we look at the team, with a few weeks to go before the transfer window shuts and a week to go for the Premier League season starts, on the back of selling a Romelu Lukaku, what do we do with our team now? How do we make this team better? How do we improve it if we are going to win the treble? Well, there's £140 million in the transfer budget, lots of money to play with. The question is, who do we sign? But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Rumour, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you had, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for next episode very soon, featuring another big new signing and the start of the Premier League season as well. I'll see you for very soon.